Carron Steele knows what it's like to be homeless. She experienced it for the first time when she was just 19 and got evicted from her apartment. Carron moved to northern Michigan to take a job that included room and board. Then she met a man, got pregnant, and got married when she was 20. Carron says it was a rough marriage, and after 20 years, she needed to get out. She left with just a backpack and a bike, and for the second time in her life, Carron found herself homeless, this time with an 11-year-old daughter.
Well, at first I said I was staying at a friend's house. I don't think when I initially left I really thought about it. It was just a flea. And I think that I thought I would end up back in my home. When I asked to go back or asked to take over the home, I was flat out said no. I couldn't stay with my friend anymore. That wasn't fair to her. After I left my friend's house, after about a month, I ended up getting hooked up with somebody who allowed me to live in their home that they were selling and was empty at the time. So we slept on the floor with sleeping bags in basically an empty house. I also applied to get a place to stay at the shelter with Women's Resource Center, and we were admitted in there pretty quickly. And we stayed there on and off for approximately 3 months. I managed to get some house sitting jobs in between those times until I was able to find a place to rent. My daughter and I ended up moving into a big house that rented out several bedrooms in the house, and we rent a bedroom, which we've been in for almost 2 years now.
Carron says she still considers herself homeless because all she and her daughter have is a bedroom. But they are getting help from the community. That help started when Carron went to a neighborhood meeting at the Northwest Michigan Community Action Agency.
And at that meeting, there was a couple there who does a lot of volunteer work with Father Fred's, who gave a lot of wonderful information and talked about the PRI, the Super Saturdays, along with Gym Roulette. They really kind of became go-to people for me and would offer me advice. Sometimes they would call me up and say, hey, we've got winter coat in, and really kind of almost grandfathered me or kind of just took care of me a little bit that way, and I really appreciated it. I also learned about community meals and several pantries in the area, which I don't think I would have made it without those. It gave me the confidence and the push that I needed to apply for different programs that I just didn't even think I would be eligible for. And sometimes it offered me an actual person to go with me, and especially for the car. Having a person to go in when I'm talking to a car salesperson, I have no clue, and having that person there to say, yeah, this is a good deal, and just to assure that I'm not being taken advantage of. I ended up getting involved with Family Partnership, and in Family Partnership I have a mentor, Tanya, and for a while there, when things were really stressful in my life, Tanya and I got together on a weekly basis, and it was really more of a digression time for me, so that I could cry, I could say, am I crazy? Is this okay? Is this normal? And just having a person who can listen and be objective but honest, and say, really you need to do this, or maybe you should look at it this way, or yeah, that's perfectly normal, and even just to hug me and say, you can cry, it's okay. It's hard sometimes, and when you're trying to hold yourself up, be strong for your daughter, and still, I'm working 80 hours a week. I'm exhausted and worn out most of the time. So having that person to just kind of say, good job, even, really made a big difference for me. People from the PRI and from the Opportunity Conference that I went to and the Super Saturdays really had, especially Super Saturday, had said, you can apply for Habitat, and so I did. Habitat is now working on a house for me. I'm not an actual Habitat home. I'm a combination of Habitat and urban housing development, because during this 2.5-year process, I have worked myself out of financial eligibility for the Habitat program. However, Habitat has still been very gracious in offering to still do all of the building for me so that the cost is minimal for me. I have a property out in Kingsley now, I'm very excited, and have a basement dug. That's as far as it is right now, but they're hoping that I will be moving into a home in the beginning of April. I also ended up becoming the chairperson for Agape, which is a board that was put together only of people in poverty to offer low finance emergency loans for other people in poverty. And it's been good to be with other people who are working towards bettering their lives.